I did not want to go. They inducted me. I did not want to die. They called me yellow. I tried to run away. They court-martialed me. I did not shoot. They said I had no guts. They ordered the attack, and the shrapnel tore my guts. I cried in pain. They carried me to safety. In safety I died. They blew taps over me. They crossed out my name, buried me under a cross. They made a speech in my hometown. I was unable to call them liars. They said I gave my life. I had struggled to keep it. They said I'd set an example. I'd tried to run. They said they were proud of me. I had been ashamed of them. They said my mother should also be proud. My mother cried. I wanted to live. They called me a coward. I died a coward. They call me a hero. This is the Memorial Day poem that I was told never to read on the radio, and every year for 20-some years, and come Memorial Day, I read that poem. It upset sponsors. Listeners turned off radios. Management types called me into their office and shook their fist at me and said, "Don't ever read that poem." And I continued to read the poem. I don't get all excited about Memorial Day. I don't get all worked up over Memorial Day. The reason is, thinking back many years to a past war when I was young. Harry, Don, Dick, Tom, Steve, and Stu. I don't need a damn day to remember you. I remember you every day. You're burned into my heart. A day doesn't go by that I don't think about you. And it irritates me that we have to set a special day so we can remember you guys. We can't even remember the war in which you died. We can't remember what it was fought for. Ho Chi Minh Trail, what was it? Oh, the communists? We should have settled it. We could have settled it years before we did. Countless young people's lives lost. And when we look back at it, history tells us not only did we lose that war, but we fought that war for nothing. And we don't learn from history. Here we're doing it again. And I get so frustrated. Heroes. Is that all they were? Heroes? They went to school every day? I think about that. I work with kids. I think about it. I think about every day they get up and they go to school. I've mentioned this before. And they study and they work and they talk. And they do that day after day for year after year. And they graduate and we send them off. We send them off to be massacred. This war that we're in right now, this war can only be settled one way. This is an ultimate truth. These are fanatics that we're fighting. We've created them. They are fighting for their religion. They're fighting for their cause. And we won't stop them until every last one of them is gone. We really won't. We set about to get rid of that Saddam Hussein. He's gone. Now it's time to bring those troops home. Our boys are too valuable. Our lives, our future is too valuable to waste on this stupid war, which, mark my word, we will settle it on terms that we could settle it on today. It has to be a political settlement. You want to settle it with war. You want to settle it with violence. Let me tell you something very profound. You can no more end war with violence, no more end hatred with violence, than you can learn to spell by setting on a dictionary. I named this video Cosmic Bullshit. I should explain cosmic bullshit because it's not kind of language you should be hearing on my blog. 20-some years ago, lost almost in the recesses of my history, was a very sweet dog, Sugar Sherlock. Sugar Sherlock was a combination lab and Irish setter, a mixed heritage she had. One day here in the Northwest, the sun is shining so bright, and Sugar is laying out in the backyard. She's on her back, her paws outstretched to take in the sunshine. She's chewing on a bone. Sugar is as happy as any dog could be. When suddenly the fence that I had built months before, without any wind, without any provocation, collapsed and fell on top of Sugar Sherlock. Sugar in panic. We moved boards, we shoved them apart. We saved Sugar Sherlock. She's all crushed down. The bone was in her mouth. She was in shock. What happened to Sugar Sherlock is cosmic bullshit. It happens to us when we're just minding our own business and we're not even involved. And then suddenly something that you hadn't expected comes from nowhere and wrecks your life. And that's what's happening to our young people today and this world in which we live. And in spirit of that, I want to show you what I bought. Yeah, see, it's a new video camera. It's a Canon ZR-830, and it's really neat. You've got a little protector for the lens. Big screen so I can see it, and it has an instruction manual. This instruction manual, I'm not exaggerating, looks like the book's Grapes of Wrath. 1 week now I've been working at getting this so I can use it, so I can look more dynamic. When you will be able to see my overwhelming winning gaze when I take the videos with this. I was hoping to be able to use it to take this video today. Unfortunately, boo on that idea. I could not quite figure it all out. It took me 3 days just to figure out how to get the video from in the camera into the computer, and I still haven't figured out how to get the wide screen thing. But it's coming. Something to stay. Don't cancel your subscription. Remember, Jer has a video camera, and he's going to be using it. Who knows what I'll be shooting a picture of. Statement of President Bush. This is the end of the show with this. Anybody who watches or listens on the radio, that Coast to Coast program at night, I caught a show the other night where there was a man talking about this bill for Homeland Security. And he said that he had a site, and it was an official government site, and we could go and look at all this. So I'm I don't know, half awake, half sleeping. I always sleep through that program. It's on in the middle of the night. But he said that President Bush had written into this Homeland Security thing a passage that allows him to take complete control, to supersede everything in the Constitution. And he could, even if we are in such a grave state of emergency, even say there was not going to be a presidential election. So I went to the next day, because I'd been asleep, to their website for Coast to Coast and tried to find any information about this broadcast that I had heard. There's nothing there. Does anybody out there know anything about that? This is very serious if it is for true. And I know I heard it. It was not a dream. Anyway, so is the show this day. And now, if you will excuse me.
Some people call me a mad dog, others call me gentle Jer, but I'm just a natural born radio man.